glam girls, welcome back to another video. So this video is going to be all about the new Too Faced Born This Way concealers that I have right here. Oh, it fit, yay. Okay, so I have all the colors here, and oh wait all the colors here, and I was thinking to do swatches of each color on my face, but then I was like, that's not really helpful. It's better for me to just swatch them on my arm so we can get a little bit more of a clear idea, I think. So I also did a demo though, because I think it's more helpful to show you how I actually use it, how it actually works, how I actually feel about it. First one we have here is Swan. Now, these don't have like a label that says like, oh, this is a medium to whatever, this is a light to whatever. So I'm not gonna try to get too fancy with my description of the colors. This is Swan, and this is the lightest one. Snow, which I have actually used to brighten up my face today. And this one doesn't look that pale. On camera, I feel like they look a little bit more pale, but in real life, I feel like they look a little bit more saturated. And you can see this one's more yellow, this one's a little bit more pinky. Next one is Almond, which is also a color that I used today, and I really like this one. I feel like this is a really nice neutrally slash golden kind of color. See how it kind of starts to mesh with my skin a little bit. Next we have Porcelain, which looks a little bit more pinky, I think. We will see when it's swatched. This is Porcelain, and it looks a little bit more beige. This one is like more golden, like my skin tone. This one is like a true beige. They all have their little differences of their undertones, and that's what I really love about this range of concealers. I think the colors are really spot on in comparison to other concealer lines. Next we have Vanilla, which is a shade that I have also tried, and it's like a, I would say like a more yellow beigey kind of shade. So that's Vanilla. It has a little bit more of like a custardy kind of shade, but again, still like on the neutral yellowy side. And like I said, the nuances of these shades are minimal, but you still see those differences, and I love that. Next color is Nude. So that's Nude. Next we have Golden Beige. I just took off what I already had so that my swatches wouldn't get all over my clothes. So this one is a little bit more of a neutral beige, and it starts to get, you know, into the medium category now. Now we have Light Beige. So this one is definitely for someone, I feel like, with more pink undertones right here. You can see those two kind of like fade into the skin, into my skin a little bit. Next we have Natural Beige. Blend in and be a foundation for me, and I really like that. I think it's important because a lot of times you see concealer lines and it's like light yellow, pink, orange. It's like you see these huge differences with the colors, but that's really not what you need with concealer. You need colors that have these little nuances, like the same color but then this one's a little bit more pink, and the same shade but this one's a little bit more yellow. Like, okay, next we have Warm Beige. Love this color, it's so pretty, almost looks like a really nice nude lipstick. We have Sand, then we have Warm Sand, and then we have Honey. So I'll just put Honey right next to it, kind of make it go faster. Honey is definitely more neutral, I feel. There's Warm Sand and there's Honey, and now you can start to see that gradation and that difference of color and shades, and I love that. Next we have Butterscotch, and then this is when we start to get into the deeper shades. So there's Butterscotch, Mocha. This is Mocha. Should have done this from the beginning so make it go a little bit faster. I'm sorry. There's so many shades I didn't realize. And then Maple, and then Chestnut is where we get into like colors that I start using for contouring. So those are those shades. Last three are Mahogany, Toffee, and Cocoa. Mahogany is a really pretty orangey warm shade, And then Toffee is the color that I love to use to contour when I'm a little bit more tan. It's so beautiful. And then Cocoa is a beautiful, deep, rich shade. So pretty. I feel like here we could have used a couple more. I think people sometimes want something that literally matches them so perfectly, and it's like most makeup artists will tell you that they never wear one color of anything. We usually always mix. I know Mario, Kim K's makeup artist, always says that he uses at least 2 foundations on Kim. I always use at least 2 foundations, 2 concealers, 2 of everything. And I know a lot of people don't want to live that way, and I totally understand because it's a lot of money to do that. But I definitely think with this concealer range, you could find a shade in there for you. Prices and all that boring stuff, everything's going to be linked down below. I'm not going to link every single color. I'll just link you guys to Too Faced website. I'll link you to Ulta and Sephora, everywhere that it's available, and you can go pick one up, try it out, see what you think. So let's get into the demo. Okay, so we're gonna do a live demo of me using some of these colors. Now, I have been playing with these since I got them, playing with different colors for my highlight, for my contour, seeing, you know, which colors work best for me. And I kind of have been mixing, just playing with them. You know, usually I would take like one color out, but I'm trying to play with the PR packages I get more and really learn the products so I can give you guys more information and, you know, show you more how they work. So I'm going to take the color Almond because this is one of the colors that I haven't used on my skin yet. I've been playing with other ones, and this one I kind of want to try. It's like a perfect kind of neutrally bright kind of shade. It's like a neutral beige. So you can see right off the bat when it goes on, it applies really full coverage. So I do feel like it goes on bright, but then after it starts staying on your skin for a few seconds, like if I were to kind of like try to dry it down a little bit, it does start to slightly oxidize in the sense that it gets darker and kind of starts to fade away a little bit, and you start to lose that brightness. And then I feel like once it blends, it definitely blends into the skin a lot more than other full coverage concealers. I'm using a dry sponge, but you can see how you still see those bags under my eyes. The skin really starts to show through instantly. And I think the point of this range is to provide a decent amount of coverage but also look like skin, which is why it's called Born This Way. I think that's the point, right? That it's supposed to look like skin. So for me personally, I would have to layer. I really like the range of colors on these though. I think that's the one thing that I like in comparison to other concealers. The color range is beautiful. I love the different undertones of the concealers. I think that they really nailed it. I love how big the packaging of these are. I think that they're huge. They look like some brands' foundations. Like they're really big in comparison to my hand. You can see like it's a big foundation. I have here the Born This Way foundation, which I'm wearing now. So if you want to take a look at the foundation and then the concealer next to it, I mean, it really is like the same size as far as height. It's actually taller, and then the foundation is just wider and bigger. The fluid ounces on the foundation is 1, and the concealer is half of a fluid ounce. So it's half of the foundation, but that's still a lot, being that concealer is normally like 0.25 fluid ounces or 0.17 or like something really little. So being that this is a whole full half ounce is a lot, being that the foundation is only 1 ounce. And then the foundation is glass. The concealer, I believe this is plastic, but it's a frosted plastic, so it looks like the foundation, but this I believe is glass and this is plastic. Just from feeling it, and this one is a lot heavier, and it feels like the weight of it feels like frosted glass. This one feels like a thick plastic, so that's the one difference there as well. But as far as everything else, the packaging is the same. The concealer doesn't have any scent or anything. It has a little bit of a makeup smell, but it doesn't have like a gross smell or even a perfume smell. Now, I've been playing around with the different tones for contouring. I've used even the lighter ones to some of the darker ones. So being that I am like a tan complexion, and using like the second to darkest is a little telling of the fact that it might not be that dark, but also I also like to use a really dark color. I really like to be super bronzy, contoured. That's my thing. So I think that, you know, if someone else was doing my makeup, they probably wouldn't use the dark shades like I use. But I like to create like a tan look first. So I go in with chestnut, and then if I want to really like make it darker, I can go in with something even darker, or when I'm more tan. I do think that they could have used a few more of the darker shades in that, you know, in the darker range. But I love these to contour. I feel like they blend super beautifully because they're meant to look like skin. Sometimes when you use a concealer that is really good for under the eyes, sometimes if they're too full coverage and they really, you know, look beautiful under the eyes, they're too full coverage to use to contour, because then, you know, it's too much and you end up using too much, you end up looking crazy. But because these are meant to look like skin, they don't dry down that quickly. They retain their pigmentation but blend so beautifully as a bronzer slash contour. I'm going in with a brighter shade. This is Snow, which is the second lightest. It really does like melt into the skin and becomes like a second skin, and you can still see your skin through it. I love the consistency of them, of the concealers. I really do like them. I just think that if you're looking for super full coverage, thick tattoo consistency, this probably won't be it. It really blends really nicely into the skin. It really does become like a second skin, and it just blends so beautifully. Like, it takes very minimal effort to blend. It looks luminous, looks like skin, but you still get that perfecting kind of look. Multi-purpose sculpting concealer, which is how they're marketing it. So I think that's why it's so second skin like and so easy to see through it. It says it's a hydrating 4-in-1 full coverage buildable multitasking concealer. It has an exclusive diamond shaped doe foot applicator, allows for perfectly precise application. It has a 12-hour crease-free weightless wear, photo friendly, no flashback. I want to do a little bit more under the eyes. I'm gonna go back in with almond, because sometimes if you use a color that's too light, it kind of like highlights the darkness instead of covering. So once you work it up to where you want it, I think it looks absolutely beautiful. If I was going somewhere and I only could bring, you know, like maybe 3 skin products, I would bring 3 different colors, one as foundation, one as highlighter, and one as contour. And I feel like you could do your whole face with those 3 colors. So I'm gonna finish off with my bronzer and everything, and then I'm going to dust away the powder, finish off with bronzer, finish off my makeup, spray myself down, and we'll see how it looks when the makeup is done. So what did you guys think? How did you feel about it? What do you think about the application? I just think it looks so beautiful, so glowy and natural and glam, and it doesn't look heavy, but it still gives that full coverage glam look that I'm looking for after I build it up. So that's the only drawback for me, is that it's not full coverage one application. But normally, even with other concealers that are full coverage, I still go back in with more, just because when you blend, you gotta put more to kind of make up, and then you get that perfect mix between blending and applying, and then blending and applying. So either way, I always go in with multiple layers of whatever I'm using, so it's not really a big deal. So what did you guys think? How do you feel about it? Would you try this concealer? Are you interested? The links will be down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified of my next video. And if you like this video, give it a like. If you love this video, give it a sub, and I'll see you in my next video.